Welcome to Spotlight Sessions, where we shine a
What's
light
your
on
story?
incredible individuals. What does accessibility mean to you?
What's your mission? Welcome all to accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, where we shine a light on incredible individuals and organizations and the work that they do. I'm your host, Josh Basil. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic, paralyzed below my shoulders, and a power wheelchair user. I'm a community relations manager at accessiBe and a passionate disability rights advocate and trial attorney, focused on breaking down barriers to access and inclusion for people with disabilities. Today on accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, we're joined by Christy Sovereign, the president and CEO of the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. Welcome, Christy.
Josh, thank you. I really appreciate you having me today.
Well, I'm excited to have you on the program and learn more about you and the incredible work that you're doing. So let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you. Well, Josh, first, let me thank you. This strategic partnership that accessiBe has with Special Olympics is so meaningful and appreciated. And I will say that we've already used an accessiBe solution on our website for 2026 and the difference that it makes in terms of providing access for all persons to be out on the site and being advantaged by what it has to offer is just makes a big difference. So thank you for everything that you and the accessiBe team are doing to provide accessible solutions for everyone, regardless of ability.
We love being on this journey with you and just honored to do that and to learn from each other and really the Special Olympics, we've had just an incredible ability to share stories and learn. And I've learned so much. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for the partnership. So a little bit about myself. I describe that my path to this chair, and it really is a privilege to be the CEO for the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. My path is a bit of a brilliant collide between personal and professional. Personally, my sister Katie is a 40-year veteran of Special Olympics Minnesota. So I say it's hard for me to remember a life where Special Olympics wasn't in my life. Katie has had the opportunity to participate in multiple sports. She's represented Team Minnesota at 2 national competitions like we'll be hosting. She's represented Team USA at 2 international competitions. So we've lived through a lot of just amazing accomplishment and have had a front row seat as a family to see the transformative power that this mission delivers on. Me personally, I've been able to be, in addition to a front row cheerleader, a coach, a volunteer. I served a couple of terms on the board of Special Olympics Minnesota. I was a unified partner for the 15 minutes, I say, before she fired me because I wasn't good enough to help her go for the gold. That is a true story. And it's just a privilege to be in the position I'm in now to deliver the games. Professionally, I work for Accenture. Accenture is a global consultancy. I have responsibility for Accenture's business in the Minneapolis-St. Paul market. And when Accenture, and I'm filling the role as a loan executive from Accenture. So it really is a privilege to represent Accenture and again, lead the games.
And for those that do not know a lot about the Special Olympics USA Games, can you tell us more about that and what's in store for 2026?
Gosh, what's in store? So we expect that we will host about 4,000 athletes that'll come from delegations representing each of the 50 states. They will participate in about 20 Olympic type events that we'll host over the course of the week. Those sporting events include what will be unified and non-unified competitions. Unified competitions are those that put an athlete with and without an intellectual disability on the playing field, so to speak, together. Unified sports is actually the fastest growing segment of Special Olympics right now. And what unified programming has done is make a lot more sports available for our athletes and excitedly has made Special Olympics for everyone. So we'll have unified and non-unified sports programming. In addition to the sporting events that'll take place over the course of the week. I would say that the event, as you would expect it would, and akin to the 5-ring Olympics, will have all of the pageantry that 5-ring Olympics does with opening and closing ceremonies, the athlete village, fan zones, etc. What Special Olympics and our USA Games uniquely offers from the 5-ring Olympics is a couple of things. First, we will have the opportunity to also put on display and offer a number of things that are important to continuing to advance the mission of Special Olympics overall. At the top of that list includes healthy athletes. Healthy athletes and the healthy athlete programming, if that's something that is newer to you, offers free health screening for the athletes that come to the games.
That's awesome.
And in doing that, Special Olympics has become the largest single provider of health services to people with intellectual disability, which is quite impressive. So we'll have, in addition to the events, all of the healthy athlete opportunities. There will be athlete leadership summits and other things going on. We will have a young athletes track of programming. Young athletes are for athletes under the age of 8 before they can formally compete, bringing together, again, youth with and without intellectual disability to have fun with sports, do a little sports training, if you will. And then the third pillar that I might suggest is at the Games is a number of things that we will be activating associated with, again, advancing the mission from a legacy perspective. It's not lost on us, right, as we look to put together an event of this caliber, that in the runway leading up to the event, we really have an important platform ahead of us to think about the legacy that we want to lead or leave behind. So in addition to a number of things we're doing to get ready for the event, we're also bringing intentionality forward about different legacy items that would take the shape of health and wellness, that would take the shape of athlete employment, that would take the shape of increasing involvement, et cetera. So a lot in front of us to prepare and ultimately execute, and we couldn't be more excited about what's coming.
Well, you're bringing together so many people, and not having to do it alone and having fun. But like, I just want to, with your experiences over these decades, like, why is sport so important for all abilities to be a part of?
Well, I think for starters, sport is an amazing unifier. Sport brings everyone together. And I think sport offers just amazing life lessons and human connection in the joy of sport. I think Special Olympics, in particular with sport, really showcases the strength and ability of our athletes and delivers what's certainly been in my personal experience, life-changing, right, and life-saving interventions on and off the field.
And when it comes to kind of the memorable experiences and moments that you've had over I really would love for you to share one from the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando.
Oh, well, I'll share more than one, Josh. Me and members of my leadership team had the opportunity to go to the 2022 Games, USA Games in Orlando. And it wasn't a first for me, but if you haven't experienced the joy of opening ceremonies at a Special Olympics competition like that, it of itself is life-changing. Watching the parade of athletes, come into the stadium, celebrating with them what is the pinnacle of their sporting career, it's transformative, period. Something that was a first for me, I had never seen a powerlifting competition. And I will say, after watching powerlifting, again, the incredible ability of those athletes, but I'm forever hooked. I think powerlifting is my new favorite. And Maybe the last thing that I would add, probably because of the lens through which me and my team were there, I was really taken by what is just all of the behind the scenes, all of the orchestration, all of it comes together just blessedly and beautifully on the backs largely of an army of volunteers. To make an event like this come together was just so impressive. And again, just brings with it so much appreciation for so many people that are doing so much in support.
Every time I hear about the Special Olympics, USA Games, and even the World Games, it's just the whole process, then the entire event, it's just seems like it's a transformative experience for anyone to attend. And I love it. I love it. It's so cool to hear about.
It's
And
incredible. It is
I'd love to
incredible.
ask you another. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word accessibility?
Oh my gosh, inclusion. Inclusion. I would offer what also comes to mind is equality, right? Accessibility gives people opportunity. And without opportunity, they can't show their impact. They can't show all of the amazing things that, enable them to shine in the world. So inclusion, access, so important.
It's a great answer. And what's one thing you wish more people knew about athletes with intellectual disabilities that they don't know?
I would say, for starters, their ability. You watch athletes take their stage, if you will, their playing field, their pool, their whatever is their venue, and you immediately see ability. You forget that there is a disability. They are so accomplished in their sport. It's incredible. The other thing that I would say is so just takes you away. They are a group that just sport is genuine, and the level of sportsmanship is unrivaled. Right? They take the field. They respect each other. They play from the heart. They showcase their abilities, and you can't help but be moved by the type of passion and joy and experience that you see come forward. It's interesting that the Special Olympics oath says, "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." And I think that it just beautifully captures, right, these athletes that show so much bravery to overcome their disability and be out putting their whole self on display. It's just it's transformative to experience and be part of.
Well, being brave lets us have our day, have our experiences in the world. Like without being brave, it's just so much easier just to stay in the comfortable walls of your home.
That's
But
right.
being getting out there, having a willingness to try, to
That's right.
compete, to do it with friends, to do it against, competition, you name it. It's just there's something about sport that just brings out our abilities and brings out what we can do and challenges us to be our best. And it's just so cool what sport has given. I know for me, before my injury, I don't know if I've told you this, Christy, but when I was a teenager, a wave picked me up when I was 18 years old and dropped me on my head, and I shattered my neck that day. Before that, I was a college tennis player and 100+ mile per hour serve. I could do it all. And then after my injury, I had to find new ways of playing sports and getting out there and competing. And it's just, I ended up inventing a sport called slingshot golf because I wanted to get back out there and have fun. I do it differently. It's definitely not following the rules in the games of PGA golf, but it's within its own rules. It's its own competition, its own sport, and it brings the best out of me. And I know that's for anyone.
For you.
It's what can you do to have fun and be around people that you care about and that can push you to be the best that you can be.
I appreciate you sharing your story, Josh. Your abilities changed from that accident, but at your core, right, you're the same person, right? And you need access, right, to be able to showcase your abilities and continue to live the fullest, richest life that you can. So I
You need a chance to dance, and just
exactly,
whatever that playing field might
exactly,
be,
exactly.
you can turn heads while you're doing it, and you could show the world a different way of being competitive and having fun. So I know that's what you're all about. And
And
in
good
terms
for
of
you to be
accessibility,
dancing. Good for you to be dancing. Just
in terms of accessibility and inclusion, what do you wish brands and businesses did more of?
well, I would say um, kind of the sky's the limit. They're organizations that can have a tremendous amount of impact getting involved. So I would say lean into the mission would be how it would start, and challenge themselves to think about how can they be more inclusive in their hiring, in their marketing, in their product development, and how they sell. I think business plays a vital role in creating a more inclusive world. Um, I think businesses are often surprised to come to appreciate a fact, too, that about 5% of households have an immediate family member with an intellectual disability. That's a significant amount of buying power. And further, 1 in 3 households know someone with an intellectual disability. So I think there's important ways that brands can be supporting what's a big population, right? Both as consumers and as organizations that again can use the talents of the ID population.
So true, so true. And if you could do one thing to make the world a more inclusive place, what would that be?
I would say if there's one thing that's important for all of us to think about to make the world a more inclusive place, again, coming back to access, champion belonging. Champion belonging. Everybody is different, but everybody has a role to play, and everybody is capable of amazing impact in our world if they're given the opportunity. Find it, seek it out in others, bring them in, champion belonging. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also add to that, boy, oh boy, lean into Special Olympics. Just a single day experiencing the joy and transformative power of that sport and organization, you'll be forever changed. So spread the Special Olympics mission is how I'd finish.
Christy, thank you so much for being our guest today on accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions and sharing your story and your journey and everything that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having me, Josh. It was a real pleasure.
And to all of our guests, thank you for staying to the end of accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us at accessiBe_community. And as always, take care, everyone, and see you next time. Bye, Christy.